It's taking a hell of a long time to go live. We should be live.
There you
We
go.
should.
All right. Here we go. Let's see how long it takes today to come through. How are we doing, guys? I believe we're live. Hope we're all well. And it's been lovely. Summer's finally here. That's down the wrong way. Bear with me a second, guys. I'm nowhere near prepared. Oh, look at that. Not even on the right page. No, it was. We'll see how my me internet holds out tonight. So I've had a lot of trouble this week. It's saying that as soon as the temperature goes above a certain degrees, that's it, your Wi-Fi cuts out. But it has cooled down a little bit. What's going on here? Get rid of that. There we go. Oh. Found one. I'm not moaning about the heat, by the way.
Lighter.
It's just not very nice working in it. It's like a greenhouse, my workshop.
Well, I can safely say I've got air conditioning on at the moment, so
Ow.
that time of year.
Yeah.
I don't know if the notifications have gone out.
I think I've lost about a half a stone in sweat this week.
Right. Let's just check. It's still on. Let's just double check. Right. Let's go. Are you ready?
I'm good to go, my man.
I don't think the notifications have gone out again.
Nah. I can't even find it, mate.
It's now time for you to sit back, chill, and relax. Let your mind wander into the deepest, darkest parts of your brain. Let Ross take you to the unexplained.
Good evening, guys, and welcome to Journey Through the Unexplained. I'm sitting there like an absolute wally, waiting for it all to kick in, and realised I didn't have my microphone in front of me. Welcome, one and all, to Journey Through the Unexplained. It is, what the day is? It's the 27th of June. We are back to talk about everything and everything. Paul's obviously turned his phone on, obviously. I think, is that correct? Have you got the notification?
No, I just managed to find it.
No one's gone and got the notification, which we all know why. And I didn't put anything about what we was going to talk about, so they obviously don't like us.
We don't know, do we?
I wanted to say a big thank you to Philip that has taken us through the last hour over on Pulse Talk Radio. I'm hoping everything is coming through loud and clear. You can see us. But I don't think people can see us over on Facebook and YouTube because I think the algorithm doesn't like us at the moment. And that is that. It just doesn't like the feed, I don't think, for some strange reason. And there's not much we can really do about it, unfortunately. If Facebook is Facebook. At the end of the day, we use their platform. We have to really sort of go by their rules, don't we? It's one of them things. But how have you been, Paul? Okay.
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Had a bit of a sniffy cold, but other than that, I'm all good, mate. Enjoying the weather.
Enjoying the weather. It's
Yes.
lovely, isn't it? It has been lovely. It has been lovely.
Yeah.
But it's been a different. It's definitely been a different type of weather. Definitely been a different type of weather this one.
Do you know what? The last few shows we've done, especially about the sun and that, I'm a little bit obsessed with it at the moment. Every day I'm looking, you know, because it's very hot, so we're waiting just to the sun to go down to take the dog out because it's too hot to take the dog out for a walk. And I'm a bit of a sun gazer, you know. I like when the sun sets. I would like to sit there and just watch it. You know, it's meant to be quite good for you, isn't it? You know, not when it's obviously up high and bright, but you can't even look near it at the moment. It is so bright, and I've never had that. I've always been quite a religious sun gazer when the sun sets, and I just can't do it. So there's something definitely wrong, something definitely going on here.
Well, we'll revisit it. We'll visit it again tonight. We'll give it a visit again tonight. I just want to say, Mickey's in the chat as well. Welcome back, Mickey. Lovely to have you back in the chat. So I hope you enjoy it. It's nice to see you back on there. So it looks like our viewers are going up and down, but I don't quite know where they're going. But hopefully that people will begin to see us soon. Reason for I don't know why. I really don't know why. But no, I'm totally with you on this sun thing, but I can't, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't explain it.
No.
I can't explain necessarily what is happening with the sun, because I don't know if if you go and stand out in the sun and stand there and put your hand like that towards the sun, yeah, it will only heat one part. It will only, so if you put your sun towards there, and the sort of feels like if you aimed the middle of the sun to here, you feel it warm there, but not here.
I haven't tried that, mate. I'll be honest.
Try it. Put your hand up to the sun, or put a body part to the sun, and I can guarantee you will not feel no heat around anything below sort of probably 3 or 4 inch diameter. It's if it's like a laser pointing at you.
I'll have to try that one.
It really, it's got to be when that sun is that funny colour. Because I think we've got 2 different suns.
Yeah, there's a big part of me that just wants to refuse to believe all that artificial sun thing. But the more I'm looking into it and the more things I try and do, I think the reason I want to refuse to believe it is because you think, well, if they're capable of doing that, then what hope have we got, really?
But I think it's always been there. I think it's always been there. I don't think this is what, you know, I say I'm not I don't want to sound like I'm a negative Nelly when it comes to like this awakening bit and all that, but I don't think we'll ever find out. For the sheer fact, I think it's way beyond what we can even comprehend. I really do. I really do think it's way beyond what we can comprehend.
It's scary.
And I generally do feel that there is 2 different suns.
Yeah, I think
there is one sun that, like you said, you just can't look within seconds of, you know, you can't even look for it through sort of shaded glasses or anything. Any sort of look at it, and it just gets you. It really does.
And that just goes down to the, you know, when we first jumped on it, you know, the China artificial sun, it's 10,000 times more intense than natural sunlight. So, which sounds like a lot, and you think, well, that's just going to fry everyone, but it's not. 10,000 times, I don't know. I just something that, yes, definitely different. But then I also think, they're talking about all these, the sun's changing, all these solar. I'm going down the natural route here. The sun's changing, all the solar flares and everything like that. Where before you might get the odd little burst out of a solar flare from the sun. When you look at it now, apparently it's completely changed. When they do their close-ups of the sun, it's burning all over the place. So I think, well, okay, well then if that is the fact, then maybe that's the reason why it's as bright as what it is. It's very unstable. And I think the sun's the same as the sun, the moon, the earth. They all change their poles, sort of thing, don't they? So maybe this is one of their. But then to come on like that, I don't know.
But it's not for me. Like, there's definitely, like, sometimes you look up, and you look up and you can see that sort of. I can't put it any other way, but that dull-looking sun. It's that sort of nice orange that we're all used to. We look at it, you can sort of just move your eye to one side, and then you've got this intense bright light, which you can only sort of put down to sort of, like a torch in the middle of the night. It's so direct. It's so pinpoint. I think we've got people commenting, but it just isn't coming up on my feed. So if you are commenting, guys, say hello in the chat for us so we can see it. And I can let you know if we're getting it. So it would be great if you could just sort of put some bits in the chat for us. But no, there's something definitely going on, because now there is my nan, right? It's my nan the other day will always sit out in the sun. All right. She's coming to a big milestone this year, and she has never worn suntan lotion. As and she's always had a nice colour. And then the other day in this weather, she said, I'm too frightened to sit out in it because it's the first time I've ever burned.
Wow.
Now, we'll sit here and argue that, maybe the older that we get, our skin, takes more of becomes more thinner. I don't know. So it's just for my nan to say it.
Yeah, she's always got a lovely colour on your nan.
Yeah, always. And she will always sit in the garden and work in the garden. And she even said the other day, she even put her light, not a cardigan, but a little jumper on, because she was doing a bit of gardening. And she said it burnt through that. She she got burnt through like a light cardigan over her skin. So even my nanny's noticing something different with the sun.
Everyone is, I think, but everyone. I mean, I know my algorithm's probably different to yours, where I've been sort of looking into it. So I'm getting a hell of a lot. And I'm getting it from all around the world. People commenting on how different the sun is, how different the heat is, how different, And I mean, there was one guy saying he's noticed that the sunrise and sunsets are in different places at the moment. So, I mean, luckily the sun's just coming up when I leave for work in the morning, and I'll be honest, for me, it's always rising and setting in the same place. I haven't noticed that difference. But yeah.
Joe has put a comment. It's because we're reaching solar maximum. more CMEs than normal. Poles could be switching, which is worrying. It doesn't finish until 2025. And just like you've questioned sort of like the difference. One thing I find usually, it's bright sunshine at 3:30 in the morning. Now, this week I've been getting up quite early. I've been getting up around about 4:30 most mornings, and it's beautiful out there. It's absolutely beautiful. The sun's coming up, but this morning I got into work, and the first thing I said to my boss, I said, it's going to be really cloudy today, because when I got into work this morning, it was beautiful sunshine. I walked the dog around the park, and all of a sudden, them lines started to appear in the sky, and you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is, I'm sort of going off topic, but we'll go back onto it in a minute. We'll go back. These chemtrails, right?
Yeah.
I have never now seen a plane do it. They just appear. And I was watching the sky this morning because it was crystal clear. And I never saw one plane. So when I got to work, I got into the building, I unlocked the building, and then I took the dog for a walk. So we're talking all of 15 minutes. I'm probably inside. And I step outside, and no word of a lie, there must have been 10 to 15 lines in the sky. And there wasn't one plane to be seen. And I'm like, this is crazy, because this wasn't here 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So that I question that as well, but we'll go back onto them in a minute. But let's go back to the sun, because that's where we started, and it only confuse everybody where we go. But no, there is something wrong with this sun, and I'm not too sure. See, I think the sun looks bigger.
Yeah.
Closer.
But then could that not be down to the brightness as well, though? Because it's brighter, it's coming across as though it's bigger.
Yes, but this is what I'm saying about two suns. If we've got to hide the sun, this one that we've seen for many years, it's always going to have to be bigger.
Yeah.
So it's going to look closer. It looks closer. It feels warmer. Honestly, guys, do me a big favour tomorrow. If the sun is out and it's that bright coloured sun that we see, just place your hand towards it and tell me that you don't feel it just at a pinpoint. You won't. The tips of your fingers won't feel warm. The bottom of your arm won't feel warm. I can guarantee it. Even if you just close your eyes, face your eyes towards it, it would just go on your nose or your forehead. You wouldn't feel it around here. I had 4 people doing it the other day, and we all said the same thing. It was if there was like a laser being pointed in one particular point.
I'm gonna have to try that.
I'm hoping we get that sun tomorrow. I'm hoping it's supposed to cool down a bit tomorrow, though, isn't it? We're going to get to some sort of.
Yeah, but then it was colder today, and I thought it was more muggy today. But then, like you say, it was cloudy today. Where the last 2 days it's been lovely blue, clear sky all day.
But it's what I'm actually finding in. Well, I've lost my train of thought, just like that. What was you talking about, sun?
Like a laser beam coming down on your skin.
You know what? That just went straight out my mind. I had that's
Really frustrating. Sorry, that was my fault for jumping in, wasn't it?
I can't even think what I was even about to say. Oh well, it couldn't have been important. Couldn't have been important.
I bet it was.
Yeah, probably something important. But I just can't fathom, for me, what this is. But that's where I was about to go. It's come back. Thank you. It's come back in my head. Now, when we get up to high 20s in this country, 9 times out of 10, it's unbearable. I haven't found it this unbearable. I haven't found it like normally when it gets to sort of 27. I'm a big guy. I ain't got, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not. And I struggle with the heat. And normally I would be like, oh. But I'm like, I'm not as, maybe because it's early, I don't know. But we normally get a humidity. We normally get that closeness. Okay, it was a little bit in this afternoon. But it just wasn't that unbearable. It was like being abroad temperature. No closeness.
Now, a lot of people have been moaning that it is the opposite of what you're saying, but I'll be honest, I've found it exactly the same as you. Usually, when we're in the high 20s, coming up early 30s, especially at work, it's like a greenhouse. I struggle, and I struggle at work. I take plenty of breaks. I drink lots of water, and I'm getting over a cold. So usually I'll be struggling like mad, but I haven't stopped this week. I've been so busy this week, and I've coped quite well with it. And that surprised me, because I know what I'm like when it gets that hot. I love the hot weather. If I'm not at work, I'm fine. But when you got to do stuff, and I ain't been too bad.
It's the first time I actually sort of broke a sweat walking the dog this evening. So I left it must have been about 7 o'clock I went. And I come back and my hat was dripping. It really was. But that was the first time this week. Let's go back through some. So we've got Mickey saying good topic. Chemtrails are admitted that to be real now. The Met have admitted they are manipulating the weather to create a screen.
Bill Gates for you.
Yeah. Jay was trying to get in there. Mickey is saying, for me, the sun is definitely getting brighter. Mickey, are you still in Spain? Or are you back into the UK at the moment? So it'd be interesting to get a tape to see. Obviously, the sun has to be the same all around the world, I'm assuming. But, definitely if Mickey's picking it up and he's in a different part of still in Spain. So noticing it over there would be very different. I don't know if Heidi's in the chat. Hopefully Heidi might be in the chat and she might be able to confirm that it's different in Denmark. Joe says, I take plenty of breaks and drink plenty of Guinness. But no, there is what it is. But if in my head, that I want to say it's a different. I feel that they're putting a sun over a sun.
Yeah, it's leaving now. A lot of people were saying that. Like, I think we brushed on this last time. It is the James Webb Telescope.
Yeah.
With some of the lens flares and that, and the reflections you're getting off of it with the cameras, it's almost like you can even see the sort of the shape of it, and they're saying that was all a farce, because the pictures that apparently come back from the James Webb look so CGI'd that was all a farce to get that thing up there, get it, do its test runs, get it working, all ready for. And they still think, because I'm still seeing videos about the eclipse, and it does look like whatever went in front of it, the sun then went in front of that, like it went behind the sun or something like that. So what if it was this thing gradually turning on, you can say that, but
I don't know if anyone's actually watched the documentary on Netflix about the James Webb Telescope.
No, I'll keep meaning to do that myself.
Have a watch of it. Seriously, have a watch of it, because it is quite bizarre. I don't quite get how tin foil can quite easily make it through the atmosphere without getting a single rip in it. It's so flimsy that you think an ant could break that. And it doesn't make sense. Watching that documentary doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I don't see that being anything. But if it does produce a light beam, I can see that because it's huge.
Mm.
Huge. But it's got to be precise, isn't it? If we're covering up the sun, if my theory is that the sun is being covered up by this manipulative, sun, light, bulb, whatever you want to call it, the accuracy of that has got to be spot on.
It has, but then, like I say, I think there has been some errors on their part, if that is the case, because like I say, I've seen so many videos, and how many videos you must have seen a couple where it looks like there is two suns and one of them just pokes out, or you've literally got one slightly smaller sitting a bit further back. I've seen videos like that. I've seen them where it's just creeping out the side of that one. So, I mean, if it did turn out to be true, that would explain that side of things.
Well, it's what I'm going to try and do. I don't know if I can make this work or not, but I'm going to try. Can I? It's what, because it's not a photo, is it? Oh, damn it. We have, haven't we? We've had a video been sent in.
Yes.
By a viewer. So I'm going to see if we can get this video and play it. Okay.
Excuse the language.
Yeah. And now this might give us a little bit of insight. Add video clip. It might open. It's just uploading, so it might take a couple of minutes. This might give an insight of potentially the glitch. I can't quite work it out. What is causing it, how it is caused, what is it reflecting of. So I'm going to play it, but please be aware that there is swear words in it, and I can't stop that. All right, so there is going to be a few swear words, but here we go.
Mike, right? I'm driving. What the fuck is that? Why is there a yellow reflective part? Right, you can't see it on the camera, but to look at that with the naked eye, I can't even focus on it. It's so bright. It's like looking at the sun. The sun is there, right? Oh, you can't see it now. The glowing cloud, look, it's there. What the fuck is that? It's not even like a rainbow, Mike. I can't actually look at that. It hurts my eyes to look at that. It's like something's reflecting the sun, like a mirror.
So I do apologise about the language, but as you can see, there was a reflection. Now, Paul, Mickey has put in wow as well. Any ideas? Paul? A theory? Throw something at me.
Well, my first thought, I mean, just watching it back then, actually, when you look at where it's coming from, I mean, obviously the guy filming it couldn't have seen this because it's that bright, but looking at it through the camera, if you look at the cloud that's actually reflecting that, it looks different to the cloud surrounding it. So my theory still goes back to your cloud seeding, your chemtrails, that sort of thing, because of the chemicals, you put a drop of oil in a puddle and you'll get that rainbow effect because of the chemicals in it, that sort of thing, And to me, that's where my head sort of went straight away. It's probably where we put so much crap in our skies. Excuse me. Maybe it's doing that because it's got that kind of, although it's orangey, it's got that kind of slight different color effect to it. Maybe it's something like that.
So you're going along the lines of a potential reaction, chemical reaction in the sky.
More
Because
along
you
the
can't look at that. His words were, "You can't look at that." So it
no,
has to
that's
be-
right. So in some of the things that they've admitted to doing, like Joe was saying, you know what they're doing with the cloud seeding with this, they're making clouds brighter to reflect the sun's radiation, solar radiation. So they're putting all these things in the clouds to basically reflect the heat and the solar radiation. So what if some of the things that they're putting in the clouds has got that metallic chemical type thing in it, and it's just caught it at that right angle that it's shone back down towards us rather than back up the way it was meant to do. I don't know if you can play it without sound.
I'm not. I'm happy to play it again, but I've just got a couple of questions. Lee has asked, "Can we get a pause frame to have more detailed look?" Right. So we got sent a photo as well, which I uploaded wrong. I will try to remove my. We'll go dead just for a minute. I don't think we can talk without. Or can I move us to one side? No. I can't get that frame without removing me and Paul. So I'm just going to remove so you can have a look and you can see it in the tree line. So you can see it just here. You can see it just above.
Yeah, I would suggest maybe playing the video again. But okay. If you watch it again, just look at the sort of cloud area that's reflecting it compared to the clouds around it.
I'll see if I can pause it. I didn't see a pause button, but I might be able to pause it. I don't know. But just have a look. Okay, we'll play the video again.
Mike, right? I'm driving. What the fuck is that? Why is there a yellow reflective part? Right, you can't see it on the camera, but to look at that with the naked eye, I can't even focus on it. It's so bright. It's like looking at the sun. The sun is there, right? Oh, you can't see it now. The glowing cloud, look, it's there. What the fuck is that? It's not even like a rainbow, Mike. I can't actually look at that. It hurts my eyes to look at that. It's like something's reflecting the sun, like a mirror.
So I can't literally pause it. I did try to pause it. It doesn't give you an option. But Lee is a good a friend of ours, and he's a very good computer technician. And I'd like to go on OBS soon, which I can add videos, pause it, and we can illustrate it. So he doesn't know that yet, but he might. I'm going to ask him if he can help me to upload OBS and get that working, because that would be a lot better for me. I just don't know how to use it, but Lee will. But to me, what you're saying, I can grasp. I can definitely grasp what you're saying, but I would say along the lines of it's more of a chemical reaction. For someone to be saying, I can't see it, I don't know if you remember when you was at school and they used to burn magnesium.
Yeah.
Really, that instant brightness. Now, has that had a reaction to something that they've sprayed with another? And it's just ignited? Because it's his words. His words that I pay attention to the most is that you can't look at this. The picture is not showing. And okay, you can see the difference between the sun and this extra cloud, extra sun, whatever you want to call it, in the sky. And it's still the same brightness as the sun to the eye, but not to the camera.
Yeah.
So that would say to me that the actual video of the sun is the fake sun, with the one that he can potentially look at, but not as bright, would be a reflection or a part sighting of the old sun, in my eyes.
Right.
That's, you know, but I can't give you a feasible answer to it. No, I don't, Lee, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't know if Mike is listening. I normally get the names come up when they come in, but I've got nothing tonight coming up on my feed. So I know they live South London way, I think, over in sort of Surrey area. Could be. So that is where probably I would be looking, but I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong on that. But to me, I can't, or unless it is, we go totally left field here, totally left field that could be a reflection of a spacecraft that is shielding.
That was the other thing, because I never actually noticed it till tonight. I never actually paid, because when you watch the videos, you're watching them on the phone, it's quite small, isn't it?
Yeah.
The difference, like I said, between that clad and the surrounding clads, and I know that's one of the things that come into my head when you say, like, you know, that they cover the skies to hide what's coming and going and things like that. What if that weird misty cloud is over something, you know, and yeah, it's getting a reflection off of that. But I'm going to stick to my original theory on that. I think it's something to do with the crap we spray in the skies that's had some kind of reflection or reaction to it. But I get what you're saying there.
It's
some
very,
sort of craft, like with a makeshift cloud around it.
It's very isolated, though.
Mm.
That's very isolated.
You've got nothing, even a little pinprick of the same colour in any of the other clouds. It's just that one spot.
And that's the thing that is baffling me. You know, if we're talking about the, you know, these chemtrails and the spraying of the cloud seeding and things like that, that has to be something that is held. You know, you're talking about there might be some form of microclimate up there where that chemical is holding. You've got a lot of, for it to be something they're spraying, I think you've got to put a lot of, what's the word, in there. There's a lot of variables for that not to be anything else.
Yeah, but don't forget as well, you know, in I mean, I know China uses it quite a lot. They don't spray the clouds so much through planes and that. They actually use missiles and shoot the chemicals up there so it explodes and then spreads out that way. But they also use drones now. They send things up in drones and do it that way. So because it's such a little isolated spot, what if it's something that they've just started? You know, that could have been a drone gone up there and then poof, just, you know, evacuated all its chemicals and that, and that's where it laid before it spreads out.
I do get that. I can get that. But it just looks to me, it doesn't look explosive, if that makes it doesn't. It's flat.
Mm.
You know, it does look like the sort of the arse end of the chemtrail that would spread.
Yeah.
Unless it's a new chemical they're using. You know. Let's just watch it one last time. Just because it's got me thinking about it now.
Mike, right? I'm driving. What the fuck is that? Why is there a yellow reflective part? Right, you can't see it on the camera, but to look at that with the naked eye, I can't even focus on it. It's so bright. It's like looking at the sun. The sun is there, right? Oh, you can't see it now. The glowing cloud, look, it's there. What the fuck is that? It's not even like a rainbow, Mike. I can't actually look at that. It hurts my eyes to look at that. It's like something's reflecting the sun, like a mirror.
It is crazy because the more I watch it, now I'm going to have to play the video again, okay, for everyone to watch my theory here, right?
Go for it.
Watch when the video first starts, and I believe it's the sun above the first bit we see before he moves the camera around. Now, if you look at the sun, it has two reflective coats, so to speak. So you have the center point, which is the sun, and if you look at the outerest ring of the first bit of clip that you see, it's the same orange around it. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we start the video, you'll see a bright round thing, which I'm assuming is the sun. Now look at the outermost glow around it. It's the same color as the said thing in question. All right, are you ready? I wish we could pause this.
Mike, right? I'm driving. What the fuck is that? Why is there a yellow reflective part? Right.
Now, did you all see it?
Yeah, the outer ring.
It's the
But
same.
again, though, that was
colour.
like the reflection on the clouds, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that says to me that that's a secondary object. That isn't reflecting from that main sun. That's in my head. That isn't a reflection on the sun. I think that's a secondary object glowing, because if you look at the secondary object, we're just seeing more of the orange. If you look below it, if you look below the secondary glow, it has the bright bit and then the orange. Should we go again? So we're looking at the secondary object now. We're not looking at the sun, the round one. We're looking at the flattish one. Okay. Now look at the glow around it.
Mike, right? I'm driving. What the fuck is that? Why is there a yellow reflective part? Right, you can't see it on the camera, but to look at that with the naked eye, I can't even focus on it. It's so bright. It's like looking at the sun. The sun is there, right? Oh, you can't see it now. The glowing cloud, look, it's there. What the fuck is that? It's not even like a rainbow, Mike. I can't actually look at that.
So below it is brighter than the orange bit, if it makes sense. So
Just as that video finishes, though, it's almost as if the camera shows you what you can see with the naked eye, because it just goes pure white, like you're looking at the sun at the moment.
But then it still has that reflective orange around it, which makes me want to say and feel that the object in question is a secondary object, because it's causing its own reflection rather than reflecting off that sun. Because there would be, I'm pretty, my gut would say that if it was a reflection of chemical, I think you would see pockets around it. You know, where it's breaking up.
Yeah, but again, if it is going down the route of maybe drones or something like that, or something that was it, if it had just been dispersed, it's still concentrated in that one area.
Yeah. That's what I can't get my head around with the chemical side of it. I can't, you know, we're talking about jet streams, we're talking about wind up there, we're talking about all the variables, and that's just holding there. I know it could be sort of a certain chemical that's more denser or lighter, or, you know, there's loads of things that we could be, you know, we're talking about why it's holding there. It's just sitting there. And that's when my head can't fathom. I do massively get where you're coming from, massively get. But I just can't see why it, you know, looking at that picture, so I haven't got an illustrator, have I? No, I wish I had a pen that I could like show where I mean, but I would be like, I'd be willing to say that you would see little pockets of the same glow separate around that.
Yeah.
As it disperses and picks its own little way. You know, to be fair, we need to question the gentleman that took the video, because how long did it last for? Did it just disappear?
The trouble is he's constantly moving as well, so
it
something like that.
Didn't it?
Sorry?
It stayed pretty in the, you know, the 30-second clip. It stayed pretty much the same shape, the same distance.
Yeah, but I mean, he's only got to take one wrong turn to the left, and it could be out of sight. Whereas something like that, ideally, you would want to stop and just watch it and see what happens. But obviously, from a car, you're not going to get that.
Do you find yourself looking for that? Because I do. I look for that now. I look for that secondary object to try and see if I can replicate it in any sort of way.
Right, yeah. No, but do you know what? Funny enough, when was it? It was last week sometime. I was driving home. I hadn't seen any chemtrails all day. It was a half clearish day. And it was a lovely blue sky. And it was just nice, white, pure white clouds just dotted everywhere. And I thought, I haven't seen a sky like that in ages. It's just that stretch, you know, the old A1306 from Willow Farm down to it's just quite a nice 5-minute run, and I was just looking up at the sky, and it was the best sky I'd seen in a long time, a long time.
It was, I say, but the sky has, you know, it was the first time today that I saw the potential chemtrail seeding. I haven't seen it for a good week or so.
Yeah.
But I do feel that the British or the public were sort of, it almost felt to me that they had to let a bit of sun in. It was getting a bit, you know.
And everyone's talking about it, Russ. Everyone's talking about it. You know, what they try and push on the news and the weather and this and that. You look at the comments, even on their own websites, you look at the comments. All people's talking about, stop seeding the clouds, stop geoengineering, stop spraying the skies, stop doing this.
But we can, to play devil's advocate there, you know, we don't necessarily know what they're doing it for. We're going to be on the side of it against it, because that's where we sit. We want that. Sorry. We want that sort of theory, but why isn't it a shield to protect us? Why isn't it something there? Why isn't it something to stop something and things like that? Potentially.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only thing that they've actually... What was that, Day?
Isn't it something to stop something and things like that? Check it out.
I have not got a clue. My phone is now talking to me. What are the reasons for not using shields more frequency to protect?
Okay.
I'm confused. My phone. Did I say anything that sounded like them words? Did you hear me say anything that sounded like Siri?
No, well, no, but you mentioned the shield side of things, didn't you? But
Shields. Hey, Shields. It must have heard something like what I said.
yeah, but I mean, we know the excuse that they've given obviously come from the lovely Mr. Bill Gates. You know, their plan to cool the Earth was to spray the skies, reflecting the solar radiation and the heat. But if that's all they were doing, I just can't see him, of all people, actually telling you exactly what they're doing.
No, I don't trust him.
He's had to say something because he knows that everyone's going to notice what's going on. I don't know if that is genuine what they're trying to do with all this climate malarkey. Spraying all that sort of deadly stuff in the sky.
Liz, could it be nuclear energy that they are starting to work with? That did cross my mind. I must admit, it did look like that. But once again, it'd be that reaction, that chemical reaction up there. That to me, I could, as soon as I saw it, it's like that test, that experiment you used to do in school where you put magnesium in something and it went and it caused that intense light. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I did say could have something to do with Battersea Power Station. That's turned into a shopping centre, though, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm sure Battersea Power Station's a shopping centre, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sure they've opened it up something like like Westfields or something. I think I could be wrong. I'm sure they've changed Battersea Power Station into something like that.
Yeah, it had shut down, hadn't it?
Yeah. I'm sure it's some form of shopping centre now, along them sort of lines, and probably got very expensive. If you believe that. Who knows what happens behind the scenes? That's the thing.
Exactly.
But I would love to know, guys, in the chat, whoever's watching, Mickey, Joe, anybody that is watching, Lee, what is your thoughts on that video? Genuine thoughts on that video.
Yeah, is it natural?
Could it just be a natural reflection of the sun? If not, why is it happening in other clouds? That'd be my question. So if you want to put that comment, I'll answer that comment. But yeah, let us know, please. If you've got a theory behind what we are showing you, that video, please pop it in the chat, because it's crazy. It's crazy. There is a secondary, for me, I know Paul goes along the lines of it's a chemical reaction or, what they're putting in the skies. The more I watch the video, I have to go along the lines of that's a secondary object in the sky. That's a secondary object. What that secondary object is, it looks like the same reflection of the sun. You get that intense light along the bottom and it's an orange cloud at the top. Same with the sun. It was the intense light in the middle and you get the ring of that orange, the same sort of orange around it. Now, I'm going to put all the theories out there. I'm going to do what I physically can. What's to say that isn't the thing opening up? It has to open up, doesn't it? So before it gets big, it's going to be low, isn't it? It's going to be thin before it opens fully. I guess without knowing the area where it was taken, hard to come to a solid. Also, how reliable source video is. Too many unknowns. I can guarantee you the source of the video will be 100% legitimate. Okay. We know the guy pretty well. He's very much into it. The gentleman in question, the gentleman that you hear taking the video, was very much, I believe, was a skeptic a couple of years ago. Didn't necessarily believe in it, and then things started to get a little bit real for him, and he started to notice things and started to really.
He's had some great captures, hasn't he?
Yeah. So the source of the video, you can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
You can hear it in his voice. There's something in the sky. What it is, I'll try and get some more of where the video come from. I'm hoping, I should have messaged him, to be fair, and said, look, we're going to talk about it tonight, but I just didn't do it. And I've got to make no excuses. I just totally forgot. But has anyone gone down the theory of us being a simulation?
And this is our sort of matrix messing up, and I hadn't thought of it that way round, to be fair.
Sorry, what I'm lost in that.
Like we're in a matrix. This is a simulation, like you say, like the Truman Show.
Oh, what the dome sort of theory?
Yeah, or yeah. Well, yes and no. One theory, I suppose, the Truman Show type thing, and the other thing is like the Matrix. This is all a simulation, and that's just a glitch in
it. I can't see that. I can definitely see that being a feasible answer.
Mm.
The more I look at, the more things that.
Do you know what? Just going off kilter a bit here. Someone said this. I can't remember if I mentioned this before. It was a couple of weeks ago. I heard it, and it got me thinking. It's the same thing, saying like the reason you can tell we are in a simulation. Now, I don't know if this just applies to me. It obviously doesn't, because this person said it. But they said, when was the last time you saw your neighbour bringing in groceries? Now, almost every time me and the wife leave the house, we come back with a shopping bag. Right? I mean, like 4 or 5 times a week, I'm coming back with grocery shopping. I've never seen my neighbours bring shopping into their house. All my neighbours.
You're right. You're so right.
How is it we have to shop every bloody day, and yet I've seen no one?
Oh, that's stupid, Paul. Because it's so true.
Isn't it?
That's so true. I'm going to make a purpose of sitting at the window for the next week. I'm waiting for someone and film it.
But that really got me thinking, and I thought, I genuinely can't remember ever seeing my neighbours, wherever I've lived, bring in shopping in.
No.
It just, I don't know.
I
think that was the closest I've ever got to thinking, okay, maybe there's something to this.
It's crazy. I'm seriously done, Lee. I'm done, because the more I think about it, the more I'm trying to. And even the worst thing is, like, if I was to sit up the main house, there's a chair right by the window, and I sit in that chair looking out the window quite often. I see the neighbours putting in quite often. I wave at the neighbours through the window quite often. Have I ever seen them come in with a Tesco's bag? No. And the more I'm racking my brains, going back to where I previously lived, where I could look out the big window in the loft conversion over the whole street, I'm thinking, I remember, the only one I can remember is my old neighbours in my old house. God bless them. They're not with us anymore, called Vic and Vi. And I know they used to go shopping every Tuesday and Thursday without fail. I know that. But can I remember them bringing bags in? No. But I can just remember them going shopping. Oh, that's crazy.
Nah, that's it. Yeah, but I know what you're saying, but even that's too structured, because you know the day that they do what you say they're going to do. I say,
the older
any time I
generation,
leave the house, I don't have a set routine of going shopping. It's almost every other day. Yeah,
but I think when I lived in the old, when my mum was at work, it was always a Saturday that we would go shopping. you'd bring the odd loaf in or a bottle of milk in throughout the week, but the big shop was always done once a week. I know that my mum and nan do their shopping sporadically throughout the week. I'd usually put that down just to so many supermarkets now.
Mm.
You know, you get one product from Aldi's, one product from Lidl's, one product from Marks and Spencer's, one product from Asda's. Get this from that, you know. So to do it all in one day, it becomes a non-feasible expedition, doesn't it? But well, yeah, no, I haven't seen my neighbours. I haven't. So you've got to really stop with them questions, you know. But no, I've always, that's what I say, I do think that, you know, we are, I suppose a simulation is probably a bit too strong in my eyes, but I think we are fed a load of crap.
Mm.
Do I believe in the histories that we've been told? Absolutely not. Do I believe in, you know, we're going back hundreds of years? No. Do I believe that the pyramids were built by human hand? No. So I think our histories are very vague, and we're structured to that, you know, as you say, simulation. Again, fed that line, fed that theory. So yeah, maybe it is sort of the big projector screen or the big dome that we live in that's got the screen that's gone wrong. You know, they've got to replace the LED screen up there somewhere. We've got the workers up there putting it in. There's also the theory about AI and how it all plays into the Matrix theory, if you like, and we are running a previous failed simulation to figure out where we've gone wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah, previously failed simulation.
So we've got having another crack at the whip, so to speak. Is that where we're going with that?
Yeah, well, to find out where the problems are, you're rerunning a program to find out where your glitches are.
Yeah.
Mm.
This could go very deep. Because that is like, isn't it? That is like, what is it? Groundhog Day, isn't it? But over a long span of time.
Yeah, but there's so many different ways of looking at it, isn't there? Like, you know, if it's a simulation, everyone in it is their own personal. You know, how do I word it? I think I've mentioned this before. Jim Carrey made a good point once. I used to love watching his speeches. I found him quite an intelligent person in certain areas. You know, everything in life is about you. You are everything in life is there for you, right? So if you put that in your sort of simulation context in the Matrix, every character in it, everything that happens is for that character. And I think he described it in a way that there was someone in the audience who obviously got a cheap seat and there was a pillar in the way. So they kept looking around this pillar to see him on the stage. And he spoke to this person, and he made a joke, and they had a laugh, and this and that. And he said, "But now look at where I am, and look at where you are. You know, my life will never be the same again because I've met you. I will never forget this moment because you're in it. So you've just changed my life just through being behind that pillar, and vice versa. She never would have got that reaction off of him if she wasn't behind that pillar." So in the simulation side of it, every character, everything around it is built for them. You know, Lee, no offense, I don't remember the last time you was on the chat. I believe you was on the chat before, but like tonight, this show has now gone around Lee's comments. So this simulation, if it was a simulation, Lee's created that. It's all about what Lee's put out there. We're just commenting on what he's put out to us. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to make it understandable, but if
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I hope I can I've explained it the way it's meant to come out. Thank you, Lee.
I need I need a simulation around me then, because I'm confused as hell. I'm confused as hell.
Did you not understand any of that, or was I sort of just a bit too mind blowing?
This is Lee's moment. This is Lee's program.
No. And yes, it's Lee's, but it's also mine, and it's also yours. Just because there is interaction between the three of us, the way you've got to look at life, basically, and the way you're going to win in this simulation, if you're going to complete the game, so to say, you've got to treat life that everything around you, every person you see, is there solely for you. Every person you meet is going to change your life, but at the same time, you're changing theirs.
That's deep, man.
It is a bit too deep for this. Sorry.
But I get it. I've got it. It's in my head. So it's crazy to think. So is what you're saying. Instead of looking at the only thing I can't, it doesn't matter if it's a negative or a positive then, does it?
Well, no, because everything is teaching you life, or the concept of life. Life's never meant to be easy, because that's not life. That's not living. Life's all about being hard. And sorry, I feel like I went too deep. I do get it, mate. But you know, and
it's the journey through the unexplained.
there you go. You know, so that's you know, everything that's hard in life is a lesson, and it's made you. And they say it's made you stronger, but at the same time, you've got to look past that to your future self, because if whatever thing bad that happens in your life, you wouldn't have got to. Bad things have happened in everyone's life, but would we be here today in the mindset we're in now if them bad things never happened?
No.
Did we get over it and get stronger for it?
Yeah.
Some people don't.
Some people
But
do.
a lot of people do.
No, I do. I do get it. I do get it. I do get it. I don't know what I haven't got going. A bit late now.
And thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Because we're coming towards the end of the show. It's just so Lee's theory is one of Lee's theories is it could be that glitch in the matrix there, the glitch in this could be the simulation, a glitch in the simulation, or just it's supposed to be there for that moment. That gentleman was supposed to see it.
It's probably not the same sort of simulation and matrix that I was going down when it first come about. I think I've just gone off a bit on
got you.
The way I see a matrix or a simulation. If I was to believe that this is what it is, that's how I'd like to sort of believe it goes.
See, that's where I went with it.
You could argue that the experiences are a part of the programming.
That's where my head went.
As in,
the people that we meet, the people that we come across, put in the way, that person that comes out from behind the pillar was set up. It's a program. It's running a program. It's running
like the actual film, The Matrix, like proper to the T, that sort of thing, isn't it? Everything's a
Truman
program.
Show. the
Yeah.
Truman Show, all that sort of, you know, that's where my mind went. I couldn't. That's where I thought, you know, the programming, this precognitive programming that going through, because
But
in
even
my
if that was true, then what I've just said is still the same in a certain way, because
yeah,
all you're doing is taking out the other people. It's about them, because they will all be programs. So it is all about you.
yeah,
Everything else is a program.
yeah. That's where my head went with it. That's where my head went with that. I think there'd be a lot of pros and, you know, there's a lot of pros and cons to that. There's a lot of deep thought to go to that.
Well, I think if it was down that sort of road, to me, it'd be more like Lemmings. Do you remember the game Lemmings?
Yeah, but do you not feel that though?
It's a bunch of people put together and they're just throwing things in their way, and you've got to find your way around it.
But do you not feel that the majority of the world are?
Yeah.
You think that, you know, let's look at that program and let's look at this question in the deep tape of it. You know, we go back in time. What are we told all the time? You know, well, what are they taught in schools? What are they taught? What are we taught about this, that, the other? You know, the pyramids were built. There was a Great Fire of London. There was this, there was that. You know, there's no such thing as aliens, and there's no such thing as ghosts, and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, but
The programming is already there. The lemming side of it is already there. That point of being is more than evident over the last couple of years. You know, that the masses follow what they're told to do.
But then you look at every computer game you've ever played when you was a kid and growing up. Every game had cheats to it. Every game had little secret hidden paths to get better things, to get better at the game. Most people didn't know them, but some people did, and they always done better because they knew the little cheats and the little things. That's the same, isn't it, really? You've got your lemmings, the people that go through life without looking for the clues and not seeking the cheats and doing this and finding a better way of it or through it. Whereas I think the awakened people, I'd like to say, they've seen them cheats, they've seen the little hidden glitches.
This will have everyone thinking till next week's show. I reckon might need to separate one of these.
Yeah.
The old Easter eggs of life, like Easter eggs in a game. I do, because I think Paul, you sent me a video. Was it you that sent me the video today?
Yeah, I sent a couple, I think, or was it just the one? I've been busy this week. I know I haven't sent you a lot.
I'm just going to see which one it was, to see if it was you that sent it to me.
I know I couldn't save one, so I had to just send it straight off.
The video regarding NASA. The video regarding NASA that you sent me today.
I probably watch about 10 NASA videos a day, mate. You'd have to be a bit more specific.
What NASA owns.
Yes. Didn't know that.
And I sent that to Joe as well, and he was just as gobsmacked as well. This goes along this line of this comment, the Easter egg, because I found this quite fascinating. NASA. We all know what NASA is. It's obviously the American Space Agency, known for sending people to the moon, walked on the moon, blah, blah, blah. But, and I don't know if anyone knew this apart from today, is that NASA own the Grand Canyon.
Parts of it.
Parts of the Grand Canyon that you can't visit or go in. I don't think that's the biggest Easter egg of all. One was the second part of the video when she said the pyramids. Now, Egypt own the outside of the pyramids, but NASA own the insides of the pyramids. How does that physically work? That's beyond crazy. I get the Grand Canyon side of things. I do, because it's water. It's there. It's what we go along the lines of.
Well, no, they found loads of caves in the Grand Canyon. There was hidden civilizations and carvings and things like that. I bet they're the ones that NASA owns.
Yeah, I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it, because that side of things is, you know, hide it. It's a hidden gem. You know, that whole, what is at the bottom of the Grand Canyon? You know what I mean? There's a lot of water flowing into that one big hole. I know you get a bit of flow somewhere, obviously, we know that, but there's still a lot of mist that covers. And things like that. Hold on. There's another comment coming. Said this for a while. Who thought them to align the pyramids with the correct stars? You know, you can understand why NASA owned. Well, I can't, to be fair. If they said it was the other way around, I would totally probably go along what Lee's just said there, because it's the outside, but this is the insides of them. The insides are owned by NASA. The insides of a pyramid. What is in there that is so?
Which again, obviously means there is certain areas. Because I think it's only the one pyramid you can go in anyway, isn't there? Am I wrong? I don't know. I've never been.
I've never been.
You can guarantee you there's areas in them pyramids that no one's allowed to go.
All day long. And to me, it's another one of them. It's another one of these. I can't help it. It's another one of these Titanics. It really is, because they will scare you the living daylights out of you. Don't go into the pyramids. Don't do this, because they're cursed. They're this. If you open this tomb, you're going to get cursed for the rest of your life. When they opened Tutankhamun's, you know, people died and this, that, and the other. And, you know, it weren't instant death. Do you know what I mean? It could have just all been coincidence, you know. And I generally believe that they're trying to stop people going down to the Titanic, because it hides things. If it's the truth of what happened to the Titanic or other things, I don't know. But I think they put these things in the way to stop people scaremongering you into believe, because it will always scare people.
Fear's the biggest tactic, mate.
Yeah. So, you know, I take, and I don't know if he's watching, and no, it's not a disrespectful comment, but I know Simon, if you said to Simon, open up the casket of Tutankhamun, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it, because that fear of what could happen. But I think that is what they will sow the seed of doing, because I think of what is hidden there. And that does, to me,
we talk about coincidences and things like that. You know, your mind's a powerful thing. If you're thinking long and hard about something, you will manifest it. If you truly believe that there is a curse on that chest and something's going to happen to you, and you open it, you could probably brought that on yourself, not the curse.
Couldn't agree more. Really couldn't. Couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. But it's all we will say. I know we're coming towards the end of the show, but it is crazy to think that with seeing this secondary object and caught on camera, and we've had
I forgot about it.
yeah, but it all goes down this pathway, doesn't it? It all goes down this pathway of there's something they're not telling us. There is 100% something they are not telling us.
Yeah.
If you want to call it Easter eggs, is it just a simple thing that has happened more than once in this lifetime? You know, maybe it's something that happens every 100 years, they changed the sun, put a new thing up in the sky. But just because it's no evidence of it, you know, maybe technology is definitely different now. I don't know. Do I believe that? No, I don't. But just trying to make something of judgment of it.
Yeah, but I think that sort of works in our favour with the technology side of things. It was a lot easier to hide things back. If this has been going on for generations and generations, and the powers that be forever hiding and doing whatever to hide previous advanced civilizations or whatever it may be. You know, the technology we've got now is sort of twofold here, because one part it's better for us because we're able to capture things and people are capturing things, but it's also easy to manipulate things. So it's easy to say that it's lying or debunking and things like that. And it's also, look at the 5G towers going up everywhere. You know, the EMF or whatever it is, it radiates out of them, making people ill. It can make you, it's a bit like fluoride in your water, you know, it can dumb you down, it can do this, it can do that. So while all this is just being thrown in your face, it's like they're throwing every attempt as well to dumb people down so they don't notice it. The lemmings.
I think we're all a part of it. I say we can sit here and talk about it till we're blue in the face. But
what can you do?
I think we're all a part of this. I think we're all part of the Lemming Society. Even though some of us don't like to believe that we are, I think we are. I think
we're buying the processed food, mate. We're using the technology they're giving us.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we can't get around that. You know, the best one I thought was always made me laugh was is it DuckDuckGo?
Yeah.
The web browser DuckDuckGo. Use it. Never track you. Who owns it? Facebook. Righto. There you go. You know, there's your answer. So, you know, they always go, yeah, go on the dark web. Go on the dark. Everyone knows anything.
How the hell does people get on this dark web? I wouldn't even know where to start.
It's a lot involved, but you can do it. You can do it.
You know, I wouldn't even be interested in it, to be fair, from what I've heard.
So, yeah. There you go.
Tor brand, never heard of it.
But no, it's one of them things. I don't think we'll never get any answers. It's not anything that I don't think we'll get any answers in our lifetime. But I think we're on that, aren't we, on the cusp of this every 80 years scenario again? Is that you that sent me that video? Or was I reading it today?
Yes, no, I remember that.
There's a video out that's every 80 years something happens, a major event. So we're right on the cusp of this 80 years since something or other, aren't we? So,
well, this is meant to be the year, isn't it? Even was it Nostradamus and all the other ones, and something very big's happening this year. A lot of stuff already has, especially when it comes to like the earthquakes and that. Apparently, there's a guy that's been accurately predicting earthquakes who's just all of a sudden vanished.
That don't surprise you, does it? Of all the things to predict, though, let's learn how to predict earthquakes. Surely you'd go along the hardest one. Let's win the lottery first.
Yeah.
And then worry about
it. Like that film Phenomenon, wasn't it? He just managed to pick up on the Earth's frequency and he knew when an earthquake was going to be and where. Maybe this fella's got that sort of ability, you know?
You need to look at the theory of very bad news. Very bad news? Or very bad news? Russ, we'll talk to you both about that as I think this plays into this. Okay.
Very bad news.
Very.
I'll talk to you about it. I think you know part.
We look forward to it.
Yeah.
But no, we have come towards the end of the show. Thank you for everyone that's joined us. The show has flown tonight.
Yeah, it has.
The show has absolutely flown tonight. Thank you for everyone that has joined us, and I hope you've enjoyed the chat tonight. Myself and Paul will be back next week. It's quite an important day in the UK next week, isn't it? It's our voting day, isn't it, next Thursday? Am I right?
Yes.
We'll be live on voting night. So, not like I think we all know where it's going. So, it'll be absolutely downhearted, because I know that, you know, even though it plays no sense, but when you've always voted for someone, it's very hard. You're born in an area that's always voted for said person. I don't think ever have I ever looked at people's manifestos. It's just because I was born in that area, I voted for that particular person. You know, and that's just how it feels. So, yeah, I think we've got a very, very interesting few years ahead in the UK. And then I think the important one will be in 2029, I believe, isn't it? I think that's the one that will be the important vote for everybody. I think this is just going to be a stopgap year. I don't see it being any different. Not to say that it's going to be, but I think there's obviously a party out there that are causing massive waves. And I think if they carry on the way they're going, I think they will stand good in the next election. But I think it's a bit too soon for them. But I think it's going to be a landslide victory for the red of society. But, you know, who's to say that change isn't good? Not to say that's devil's advocate playing the part. It can't be any worse than what it's been over the last couple of years. So, you know, we vote. It's a democracy, loosely democracy. So vote wisely. I'm not here to put anyone's opinion. That's not what I'm here to do. Vote with who you want to vote for. I don't think it's going to change anything. So,
and this is why so many people just refuse to vote. This is why I had record low numbers on the local elections, isn't it?
Yeah, I say it doesn't work rightly. As I say, I don't know what the actual terminology that you use,
Proportionate representation.
That's it. That's what we should be doing, but it's never going to happen. Hey ho, we'll be live next election week, election day. Journey through the unexplained. I suppose we'll have some conspiracies. I suppose we can throw some election conspiracies out there. There's enough throughout the world, isn't there, about elections and things like that. So we can
take a pen, a black pen with you, not a pencil if you're going to vote.
Take a black. The thing is, could you do postal voting this time as well? Wasn't there?
You can, yeah. I mean, I just think that's the easiest way of rigging something, isn't it? Postal voting, but I think you could do it anyway, couldn't you? You could rig anything if you really wanted to, which they do, I think.
Well, we know that, you know, but hey ho, join us next week for. It feels like a proper program next week, doesn't it? It feels like we're, you know, live from, you know. Perhaps we should do a show from a local voting station somewhere if they'd let us. You know, stand outside a microphone. You mind if we do a live show? Why do you want to do so? Because we think you're fiddling it, and we're going to talk about you fiddling it. So, yeah, we're really going to let us in.
Yeah. Give that man a pen. Take that pencil off him.
Yeah. But no, thank you for everybody that has joined us tonight and tonight's show. It's been very, very enjoyable. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for all your mind-bending comments as well, Lee.
Too, mate.
And I say, please, guys, tomorrow, if that sun is out, place your hand up to that sun and you tell me it only burns you in one spot. You tell me any different, I'll be shocked. And if it does, it's a different sun out. I'm telling you.
Switched
So thank you ever so much for everybody. Take care, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye bye.
Oh, hold on. Thank you for everyone that's joined us over on Facebook and YouTube. Take care, and we'll see you all next week, guys.